Wow, good morning. What a fantastic morning this has been. I hope you can all hear me well. I have been quite inspired by what I've been hearing. Lots of similarities of challenges that we are facing here in Armenia and the region of Caucasus region as well. So just want to have a feedback that you can hear me well, everything is going well. Yes, thank you, Karan. I see yeah, thank you.
You're perfectly
Um,
audible.
Excellent. So what I would like to do now is just perhaps share my document. And before that, I want to tell everyone who is in this prestigious award ceremony that this is such a fantastic initiative. And I see the reason and purpose for doing something like this that motivates, inspires, and perhaps challenges practitioners and thinkers to think beyond the borders that we have already created for ourselves and to push it to a wider spaces. Good luck to all those candidates and potential winners. Congratulations in advance. So let me just share my screen, if you don't mind, and we'll start talking a little bit about where this is all coming from and what does transitional mean for me and for in general in terms of economics. I want to say that recently there's a lot happening between Armenia and India, and we see a lot of synergy, lots of business conversations, lots of potential of collaborations. Most recently, we've had a huge amount of population arriving from India to Armenia. So the workforce itself is kind of shifting also, creating a nice little group of minority in Armenia that is perhaps pushing the market to think differently and create new needs and new demands from the market. So this is exciting times for us. Armenia is quite small in population and in territory, unlike India, of course. We're very homogeneous, so we all look the same, have the same kind of religion and beliefs, and we all eat the same kind of food. So any kind of diversity is more than welcome in our society, which brings with it the spices. And this is sort of a pun in terms of talking about India with all their amazing spices. So we are welcoming this new challenge. We're welcoming this new opportunity. And I think my being here is not just by chance. I think stars are aligned and the synergy between Armenia and India is already happening. So allow me to now jump into my presentation slides. I don't have many slides to show you in reality. It's more of a conversation that I would like to initiate. And just to give you a quick idea, I am originally from Montreal, Canada. I studied communication studies there back in 2000, and then I worked in the sphere. So what I bring with me is a lot of the Western ethics, Western sort of Canadian multiculturalism, inclusivity, and the whole value systems that Canada has taught me. So when I moved to Armenia in 2003, it was quite a post-Soviet space still. Lots of construction, lots of innovation happening. Advertising per se was something that existed throughout the Soviet times. Propaganda, PR was something that was there. So working for the improvement of the country together, we can do that. So all the socialist kind of slogans we can see still resonating even in the more independent Armenia in the 2000s. So I've seen several different Armenias from the post-Soviet early ages of the young Republic of Armenia to the vibrant, more dynamic one that is happening as we speak, with a huge ecosystem in the tech sector, a huge pharma industry that is increasingly taking an advance. The green economy is becoming a top of mind and important topic, especially given that the climate of Armenia and the potential of Armenia to generate energy and generate renewable energy is very ripe. So in 2006, after working for telecommunications in Armenia, I decided to launch my own agency. And that was the biggest challenge here, because what is a creative agency? What is communications? At best, we knew what was advertising. And from there on, my challenge was to help that transition process and understand key terms as simple as they may seem now. What is marketing? What is branding? It's not just a logo, it's a whole value system. It's the whole story of your company, of your brand. It's the right naming, it's the positioning. So all of this that I don't want to, I mean, I know all of you in the audience know what branding is, so I'm not going to repeat the entire elements. But the idea was to come up with schools of thought. So when we talked about event management, it was haphazard, it was just sporadic. And then, putting together a concept of how to implement a simple event from start to the end. Social media marketing, that was a new challenge for Armenia that didn't have technology, and one day woke up to social media being in the top demand for marketing. Therefore, going from a very analog society to not just a digital one, but even to social networks. This was a complete novelty. And then came the public relations. What was public relations? In many terms, it was young ladies, young students distributing leaflets. So there were even terms that were called PR chic, so coming from the Russian terms, those people who distribute leaflets. Well, we wanted to change that. We challenged that, and in 2011, we created the PR Summit in Armenia, inviting different scholars, academics, practitioners from Sweden, the UK, the US, Canada, Lebanon, Dubai. So we sort of had an amalgamation of input from all these different kind of public relations thinkers and innovators. And over 4 years' time, believe it or not, the entire concept of public relations and communications changed. During this time, we had about 300 to 350 participants who were in PR positions or communications positions, either at the government level or corporate corporations and NGOs, startups. All of these people went from basic press release writing to understanding how to strategize, how to build strategies for public relations. So we were paving the whole grounds. We were collaborating with universities and scholars and top agencies like Ogilvy PR and so many others from Ketchum who had also taken part. And that helped us create a network and become part of the network of the Ketchum group in the CIS regions. So we are now connected to other PR agencies in Georgia, in Moldova, in Kazakhstan. So this created that building blocks of establishing the founding grounds of public relations, which is networking. And through this, we were able to capture a very wide audience. And that was welcoming for companies that were seeking to enter not just the Armenia market, but from here to access a very, very wide audience that, or publics that were beyond the borders of Armenia. And that was the catalyst that made it happen. So let me present just quickly a few items of portfolio. So this one was the more recent one. So let me jump quickly to the financial sector. So the entire financial sector from 2010 to 2024 have been in the center of our attention. So banking sector went from having a strong marketing and advertising department to one person who would be the media relations person, to establishing a whole public relations, CSR, incorporating partnerships, engagement opportunities. So up until today, we are servicing HSBC, Byblos Bank, which is a bank that was established in Beirut, but Lebanon, but has now different branches in and around the world. So they've been in Armenia since 2009, and we were the agency that were providing not just advertising and events, but also public relations, positioning, and scholarships for university students in financial sector. So we were coming up with these creative ways to attract and engage the different possibilities beyond advertising and marketing. And all of this obviously were subject to measurement, we're subject to engagement, we're subject to strategic thinking, and the competitive edge that each of these banks would have. So yes, these are just an amalgamation of examples, but we were also working with government agencies and donor organizations. Sorry, my thing went too quick. So we were also considering about behavior change and using communications strategies to work with government agencies and donor organizations to help have people to change their behaviors. And this is one of the campaigns that we were working on, which was a lake that was being polluted and mismanaged. So to help the population engage and be connected with the problem area and change their behavior, we created a personified character of the lake, and it was a whole animation, and she was speaking from herself, from her words to the public, using attributes like the fishery. So we had fish characters, the environment, so we had a tree character. So all of these characters were speaking directly to the public and engaging them in a conversation of how to improve and how to manage their climate and that environment altogether. So creating interesting and out of the ordinary kind of campaigns was key for us. I want to continue. This is just a snapshot of the different partners that we've had over the years here in Armenia. This will probably help a lot of you that don't know much about Armenia to just see that there is a really a huge potential and many international actors already here on the ground to collaborate and to perhaps think of potentially being engaged with in Armenia. So this is part of our established team. We also have consultants with whom we work. One of the things that I'd like to talk to you more about is what we are doing today. So in terms of strategic communications, we've focused on something that is called hope-based communications. Given the times that we're living in the world today, we see that fear-based and sensationalism is not always working in terms of messaging and campaign delivery. So this hope-based communications, it was established by a practitioner, Thomas Coombs, in the UK. And over the past 4 to 5 years, we have adopted this concept and have been creating our communications methods specifically for strategic communications, utilizing hope as the mechanism that drives the campaign forward. So instead of showing what is now, the hope-based communication underlines the key visualization and messaging process on how do you see the future? How do you want to see the future? And that's basically, in a nutshell, how we frame our own messaging and our own campaign and delivery. And over the past 2 years, we've been putting together fantastic new thought leadership initiative called Generation N. So Generation Novel is about the different intergenerational publics that are digital first. They get their information from digital platforms, their shopping, their entertainment, their news, everything happens on digital. So that's the target. And we've had several conferences already happening. And the next one is going to take place this November. So this is an invitation to colleagues and anybody who would be interested to visit Armenia. And this was a great opportunity to be here. Join us either as a speaker or even as a participant. And hope, the theme of this year, and the title is Hope as a Means for Strategic Communications. So this much from me. I hope I was able to quickly inspire with some of the work and the transition that has happened here in Armenia. We are already considered as the innovators and I guess the more creative ideas generators in the region. So please feel free to connect and let's have conversations. And congratulations once again to a beautiful event. Is it possible to take questions, or is the keynote ending with my thank yous?
Thank you, Rafi. Thank you very much for this session.